All right, let's go ahead and get this party started. So first off, just a little about me. So I'm out of Houston, Texas. Um, I was born and raised just south of Houston, Texas, and it was a small town when I was growing up, and now it's this big budding metropolis area. It's kind of been swallowed in by Houston, called Pearland, Texas. I was I grew up in a neighborhood that's kind of funny. We are just south of probably one of the roughest neighborhoods in all of Houston, Texas, and we are just north of probably one of the nicer suburbs. We were lucky because they built this big thing called the Beltway. It was this big freeway, and we were blessed enough where we didn't have to go to some of the toughest schools in Houston, but it was a tougher neighborhood. We were zoned to a much better school district, and we were blessed. So, but it was kind of crazy. Like we were the outcasts, right? We were the kids from the other side of the trailer, for the other side of the tracks, more trailer parks. I grew up in a community that was predominantly white, but my neighborhood was 93% Mexican or Hispanic. So it was like we were being bussed in, and it was a different situation. So I love Houston, Texas. I love the demographics. I love the way things are laid out. It's the reason why I've never left here. And being here in Houston, Texas, for me, I'm glad that I got brought up in this industry. So I came in 2005 in real estate. So I've been doing this for almost, 17 years right now. Um, the market here, so a lot of you guys like Florida, Orlando, the market here is going to be very similar to a lot of other metropolitan areas, but we are much more affordable than most. What we're seeing going on right now is we have a lot of people coming from like California. We have a lot of people coming from like Seattle, and it's actually driving up our prices like crazy. So we stayed very affordable for a long time. In the real estate industry, like me here, I've moved over 1,500 properties. This year, I think we've already closed 20 units this year so far. We'll hit over 425 transactions this year. I do a lot of investing, so I own hundreds of units. I buy a lot of flip properties, so I'm big into investing. I love talking about investing and owning real estate. And I was a former team leader of KW. I was with KW from 2014 to last year in April. I am with EXP now. We'll keep this non brokerage, and we'll just strictly talk about production and building a business. And so that's pretty much it. That's me in a nutshell, nothing too crazy. And with that being said, I'll go ahead and get this thing started. So in November of 2014, I actually got one of my first business coaches earlier in that year with KW Maps Coaching. Her name was Janie Osnes. I love Janie Osnes. She was a great coach. She really got to know me and understood me, and that worked very well for me. Everybody, if you're going to pick a coach, you're going to get in business with someone, you really need to understand what you need, and you need to understand who they are. She worked really well for me because she represented like a motherly type person for me. Her words and her verbiage could almost guilt me into doing what I needed to do when I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. So in 2014, she basically said, Ozzie, you talk a mean game, but you're not doing crap. Like for all the crap you talk, like you're not getting anything done. You're about mediocre on the scale of how big you can really be and how big you are. You're playing small, and I don't know why. And it kind of hit me. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I had never had more than like 7 to 13 listings at any given time. I had told myself I'm predominantly a buyer's agent. I love buyers because I love nurturing people and spending time with people, and this is what I'm always going to be. And I hadn't really like grasped what listings could do for me. And she challenged me. She said, hey, there's a class. It's called 90 Listings in 90 Days. And it's taught by a guy named Craig Rieger, and he did it. And so I actually met Craig Rieger, and he had done 86 listings in 90 days with him and about 2 or 3 other dialers. And because I had met him on a bus for a KW event, and she presented this to me, all I could think is, man, if he can do this, I can do this, because he's not better than me. So I took her challenge. I was in Bold at that time, and I don't know if y'all know what KW Bold is, but they give you an auto dialer called Arch Agent, which right now I think Arch Agent went out of business. Back then, it wasn't a great dialer. I guess it became more irrelevant of a dialer, so they don't use it anymore. But Arch Agent was an auto dialer, and different auto dialers. If you don't know about them, you have Mojo, you have Vulcan 7, you have Red X. Like there's tons all out there, right? I used the Arch Agent one because it was free with Bold at that time. Well, because I didn't know how to use a dialer, if any of you use a dialer, raise your hand. You know what I'm saying. But if you had used a dialer, like it can be kind of technical, right? They have single dial, they have triple line dialer. You push a button, it just starts calling people. So you're like, oh crap, I got to have a conversation now. And I wasn't ready for that. It was my first time. So I actually would print it out. Every day I would go to the list of all the FSBOs and expireds in the Houston area, and I would just print them out. So I ended up, when I was done, I ended up with 2 books that were like that thick. So every morning I'd print it out, and every morning I would just call down the list. I would just begin calling people. So I really didn't have a full out plan. All I knew is I needed 90 listings in 90 days. So once I got into that, I actually knew what was going to happen, because I kind of get on these binges sometimes of things that I do. And I also knew that this is something that I was going to make happen no matter what. So I went to my wife and I said, baby, I love you, but you are not going to see me for probably 4 to 6 months, because I'm going to change our lives. Like, this is what I'm going to do. And she was like, okay, Ozzie, it's no one of your crazy ideas. I don't know what you're getting us into, but I trust you. So I would just show up to the office every day and I would just dial down this list. I would call. Sometimes I would know what to say. Sometimes I wouldn't. And, I would study scripts in the evening and different things. I would ask other people if they had scripts. And I just started dialing down this list. And the most important thing is not so much taking 92 listings in 90 days when it was all said and done, but it was really about the lessons I learned, the skills I developed, and the things that I put together and created to share with as many people as possible. So most people think I'm crazy, but I do this type of seminar and these type of things all the time, and I give my information away for free. And people are like, well, what are you selling at the end? Like, I'm not selling nothing. I don't have a book. I don't have a program. I don't have none of that. I'm not going to try to sell you nothing when it's all said and done. I'm not here to recruit you. I don't care. I'm here to do one thing. If I can help you and your family feed yourselves at a higher level, if I can help you go on an extra vacation, whatever it is, that's my mission. That's my journey. That's why I do what I do. So in this, it's free and I expect nothing in return. All I ask is that when I give you this information, don't waste my freaking energy. Go and do some shit with this. And I cuss, I'm sorry. Go and do something with it. Go and make your life better. Go and serve your family. I don't care what you do, but just do better. And I'm going to get deeper into that as we go, but I just wanted to make sure you guys understood that. Now, I'm dialing these for sale by owners and expireds. My first couple weeks, I actually killed it, right? In my first month, I took 42 listings in 30 days. And mind you, I had one admin and I had one buyer's agent. Nobody took the calls with me. Nobody made the calls with me. Nobody went on the listing appointments with me. That was all me. And in fact, going through this, I actually hired a listing agent and she quit because this is insane. This is too many properties coming too quickly. And she kind of freaked out and she quit on me. And I had to find multiples going through it. Now, so I go through my first month and it's November 1st. We get all the way through November, took 42 listings. We get in that little stretch between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I hit a lull. For 2 weeks, I did not get a single appointment. So imagine, this is the way my day was. I would get in the office. I would tell the other 2 people, leave me alone. I'm dialing. Every time I'd get an appointment, they would cheer with me and all that stuff. But for 2 weeks, I get in there and I dial all day. I don't go home. And every night that I didn't get an appointment, I didn't go home till at least 8 o'clock. So I start dialing at 9. I have a few breaks here and there, but I don't stop and go home till 8 p.m. every single night while I'm doing this. And after 2 weeks, that was 2014, the end of 2014. Somebody just asked what year it was. So these 2 weeks, I didn't get anything. So imagine I'm going home and my wife's like, I'm a widow and you're not accomplishing anything right now. Like, what kind of special loser are you? Like, why are you such a loser? Like, she didn't say that, but you feel that way. And I began to just kind of get in my thoughts, like thinking like, what the heck is the difference here? Like, what happened 2 weeks ago? What happened last month that's not happening now? And I really had to take a deep dive into myself and ask myself, like, what is different? And then I came to this conclusion, and this is one of the most powerful things I learned was I got a really big head, right? I started, I'm in the Keller Williams office, right? I'm walking around, I got 42 listings. I take 42 listings. I'm smoking everybody, right? I think I'm the big man on campus, right? Well, what I found out happened is I started performing out of ego. I started going these listings and it was about the appointment and it wasn't about helping a human being. And here's the crazy thing is what ends up happening is when it's about ego, when it's self-serving, when it's about the appointment and dollars and it's not about human being, I call it commission breath, but people can smell the commission breath from the other end of the phone, whether you like it or not. They can smell it. They can feel it. It's tangible. It's real. And I was basically talking myself out of every opportunity I had because my head got too dang big. And I wasn't serving these people. I was serving myself. When I flipped that script and I began to realize that, like, I'm not getting on the phones for me. I'm getting on the phones for them. I'm calling these people because I got something they need. And the only way I'm going to deliver that to them is if I come from service and I come from contribution. And when I got that back, I got my mojo back and it hit off again. And it just started flying and it started happening, right? So we end on January 29th or January 30th of 2015. I can't remember which exact day it was. And those last few days, I'm at the wire. I'm like 86, 87. And my coach was like, Craig Rieger only took 86 and he had a team to do it. So you don't have to hit it. And I'm like, don't tell me that crap. I'm going to do it. Right. And it was to the wire. And I just kept pushing. And the last day I said, I'm not happy with 90. I got to hit more. So I hit 92 listings in 90 days. What came from that, guys, was a lot of education. What came from that is me learning about myself, me learning about the industry. The other thing that came from it is I had my first $100,000 month in my history of real estate. In that year, I had 4 $100,000 months. And it was just me and 2 other people for most of that year. So I'm about to walk you through like the whole process, like the journey. I'm going to present to you what I believe is probably the most important part of this thing. And first off, we're going to start. So write this down. If you don't already have it, we can send copies out too. I can send it to Todd or whoever, and we can get it out to everybody. I developed something that we call the 5 pillars. I call it the 5 pillars of lead generation. I believe that if there is any issue that you're coming up against in your real estate business and generating business and closing deals, you are having an issue in one of these 5 areas. If you get these 5 areas right consistently, you stay right in these 5 areas, you will begin to build as big a business as you possibly can. If you are struggling, you look back at one of these 5 pillars and you can identify where your issues are. You fix those, you'll get right again. So I'll jump right into it. Pillar number 1, and this is big. Most of us don't have this down. I'm going to challenge you to figure it out for yourself. And that you want me to walk you through it or develop that, we can go through that on another time. But this is, you got to know your big why. And there's kind of 2 parts of it that I developed over time. But your big why, like, why the heck do you get up every day? It's easy. I got to tell you, like, how often have you just been like, man, it's really cold outside, or, I should just take the day off because I deserve it, or I'm not going to get out of bed this morning. You can make a million excuses to stay in bed or not go to work or do whatever. But what are the things that are going to get your butt up and get you into action? Everybody's going to be different, right? But I'm telling you right now, if your big why, if it's attached to cars, houses, or money or material things, and it's not attached to something deeper, typically it's going to be a human being, there's a really good chance that your why is not going to be powerful enough to pull you through the really tough days. So I'm going to challenge you to dig deep and find out what it is. Typically, like the question I begin to ask myself is, who is the one person on this earth you would die for, like you would give anything for, right? Why are they so important? And, if they're that important and they're in a relationship with you, what are you doing to contribute to the greatness of that relationship? What are you doing to show excellence in that relationship? And so there's a lot of steps to it. There's a method. I don't think we have a time to walk through it now, but I walk through with my team a series of questioning called a motivational interview. And then we do what's called going to the board. So here's the thing is a big why can often create a big vision to where, you can set up what I want to accomplish 3 years, 5 years, 10 years from now. That's great. But what we found is usually that big why is there. It's there, like it's in your mind. It's out front. It's way down the road. But something right now may be blocking you from that. And the right now is often the obstacle you need to overcome to get into activity to accomplish what you want to accomplish. Now, the right now could be different for all of us. Some people, it's, I owe $30,000 to the IRS. I got to get on top of that debt. That's my drive. I got to get that out of the way because that's what keeps me up at night. There's a great question to ask yourself. What keeps you up at night? Identify what keeps you up at night and attack that thing. Some people, it's, I'm going to get married this year. I need 30,000. I don't know how much weddings cost, but I need 30,000 for a wedding, right? Some people, I need to buy a car for my kid. I've got a kid going to college. Some people, I've got $50,000 worth of debt, right? Some people, I've never owned a home and I want to buy a home. Some people, it's, I want to go to Disney. Well, you guys are in Orlando, so that's probably not as bad. But like from Texas, going to Disney is a big damn deal, right? Being in Florida, you're close to it. Here in Texas, like that's, go to Disney, you're living it, right? But everybody's got something different. If you can identify what that thing is that keeps you up at night, that thing is right in front of you all the time. And instead of talking about money or numbers, you talk about, is this getting me in that direction to knock out that $30,000 debt or to get married to my fiance this year and pay for it cash? Like you have to identify those things. So the big why gets you up. That right now thing gets you really solidly into action. So you need to identify what those two things are for you. What is life going to look like in 5 years? And here's the one thing I'll challenge you guys to do. Do not negotiate with your dreams, because this is what happens. And this is sometimes programmed into us. We start to say, oh, if my life was my dream life in 5 years, this is what it would look like. I would have a lake house. I would have a beach house. I would have a house in Colorado. Yeah, I would have vacation houses so I can get the heck away because I work hard and I deserve that. I really don't care about cars. I still have my Ford F-150, but I would like a 64 Chevy Impala with hydraulics because that's what I dreamed of having when I was a kid. Because that was like the lowriders in my neighborhood. That's what that was like the cool thing, right? Like everybody had the slabs. We call them slabs in Houston. Like everybody had these things, right? I was like, man, I want one of those cars. Like, but everybody's different. So you create that life. But this is what happens. Like everybody's got their vision. And then you start saying, I really don't need that house in Colorado. Like that's kind of greedy. That's like a couple $1 million. And you know what? That 6'4" Impala, man, it's going to be hard to maintain. I don't know if I have the money for that. And then, I said I want to go on 5 vacations a year, but that's overdoing it, man. If everybody sees me go on 5 vacations a year, then it's going to seem like I'm spoiling my kids. And you start negotiating with your dreams. Like, here's the deal is if you start negotiating with your dreams right now, today, as you're thinking about your dreams, you negotiate from the Impala to no. You negotiate from this vacation to no. You negotiate from that house to no. You're slowly taking your dream away. And then in 6 months from now, when you're not hitting something, you take a little more away. In a year, you take a little more away. And then eventually, you've basically have totally done away with accomplishing the dream. And what the hell purpose is that? Why would you do that? But it's a natural thing. We go through it. So I'm going to ask you not to negotiate with your dreams. Create the biggest life with all the things. If your life was absolutely perfect, and imagine before you start talking yourself out of it, world hunger is ended. There's no pollution. Everything's beautiful. The world is utopia. And I get this dream life. Because if you don't, you'll start to feel guilty and all the other crap. And I'm telling you guys to do this because naturally, I would say everybody on here, if you're not, you're special. I guess you grew up in somewhere different than the rest of us. But when you're a kid and you're 5 and 6 years old, you have these dreams and these visions of this perfect life. And something is crazy, like you're riding a unicorn or something like that, right? But we have this vision for this most beautiful life in the world. And slowly and surely, adults just chip away and tell you you're not worthy and you don't get enough love, or all these things start to happen. And you end up living this life that you never dreamed of. And I don't believe that's why we're here, right? I believe we're meant to do those things, but we're surrounded by the wrong people and we end up in this place we never meant to be. And it's a programming thing. So you have to reprogram yourself. Don't negotiate with your dreams. Now, I'm going to walk you through like how I came up with my big why and why it's so important to me. And it's also going to clue you in on why I do what I do. So, I'm a first generation American. My birth parents came from Mexico, right? I am an anchor baby, right? I don't care if anybody don't like me because of it. I don't care. I'm an anchor baby, but to let you know, like I thank God every day they came to this country. I thank God every day I have the opportunity here because I have a version. I have an opportunity to become a better version of myself. I have an opportunity to become the immigrant worker with a 2.0 American value on credit and money. And I can do anything I want to in this country. My birth mother had a different ideology of the way she wanted to do life. And she took herself out of my life when I was 1. And my birth father, like we moved into this neighborhood. It was called Kings Row. You can Google it. It's on Telephone Road in Houston, Texas. It was like one of the largest trailer parks in Houston, Texas, on the south side of Houston. And we lived in Kings Row. My dad, like he had a trailer here, and the trailer next door was a redheaded Irish woman, and they hit it off and they started falling in love. And over time, my dad left us with her. And I'll tell you the truth. My dad never 100% left, but rather than tell all the stories of all the things he did to me and all the things he did to my mom, like I just tell everybody I was adopted and he didn't exist, but it's not true. And I lie to a lot of people, and I've been lying to people on stuff like this for years. The truth is, man, he was a bad man. And it was like growing up with a monster in the house. And I saw him break my mom's nose at least twice. He put me in the hospital. I can't imagine how many times. Like it was a tough situation. But here's the deal, man. Like the truth of the matter is, like I'll tell you, don't ever feel sorry for me in a million years. You want me to tell you why? Like, because there's somebody out there that's got it 10 times worth, that's accomplished 10 times more, and lives a much better life than me. So I got nothing to complain about. And for me, like in my situation, like I feel like other people, maybe another kid wouldn't have made it. Maybe another kid would have committed suicide. Maybe another kid just wouldn't have been able to do it, right? But I believe God knew who I was. He's like, this kid's rude, he's crude, he's rough, he's raw. I gotta break him. And that's basically how it worked out. So my dad was a tough man, and I never really knew him, and he never really got to know my kids. Like he lived less than 15 minutes away from me my whole adult life. And he met my 18-year-old daughter. He passed away last year, and he maybe saw her about 8 times my whole life. And it was mainly because being around him was tough for me. Even though I wanted to forgive him, it was just like, I don't know if I can have my kids around you. Like the beatings and stuff you did to me, I don't care. One day you flip out. I don't want that shit to happen to nobody. Nonetheless, I was raised by a redheaded Irish woman, and there were 4 of us, right? I have my brother Andy and Ricky. Those are my white brothers, right? And then I have my brother Angel and me. He's my only real blood brother. We're both full out, about as Mexican as it can get. And we grew up together. And I was about 5, and my brother Ricky, he was killed by a drunk driver. And my mom, like, I didn't know, you're 5, you really don't know all that stuff, but you didn't understand. And as we got older, my brothers would tell me, like, you don't remember, like, mom was depressed. Like, she wouldn't come out of her room for weeks and months on end. Like, it was crazy. I don't remember that. I just remember the good in her because what she did for me. And about the age of 10 or 11, I remember just telling her, like, I want you to leave. Like, leave. I'm tired of seeing you get beat. Like, why are you still here? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And she said, Ozzie, God took Ricky from me and he gave me you, and I'm never leaving you. And that was like a defining moment for me, like realizing, like, you didn't have to be blood for somebody to love you. Like, you can love anybody. Like, I don't care what color they are. I don't care anything. And growing up out here, it wasn't easy. Like, this is white suburbia. I won't even lie about it. Um, one time we went to a little, like, there was this Jameson Landing, and I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go places with you guys. I want y'all to understand me. There was a little fruit shop, Jameson's Cannery and Produce, right? And we go in there, and it's me and my white mom, and the old racist guy says, "Little brown boys aren't allowed in here." And he starts walking us out the door. And my mom hits him in the head with the peach, and we ran our ass off. Right? Like, that's the Texas South that I saw. And just to know that she volunteered for this shit. She volunteered. She didn't run from the beatings. She didn't run from the racism. She didn't run from any of it. And I was her baby. I don't care what anybody said. Right? This woman combed my hair till I was in 8th grade. Like, I was a mama's boy and she was my mama. And growing up, like, I just began to see things in her, like how powerful she was. I remember her and my dad got in a fight one time, and she threw a TV through a window. Like, she threw a full out, and this was, the TVs back then were full out heavy, right? So I began to see this woman and who she was, and I began to realize, like, man, this is something really good. I got to pay attention. And she taught me a lot. And then about 16 years old, she had an issue with her shoulder. We went to the doctor, and she found out she had cancer. And so we go, and I wasn't in the doctor's office with her, but I was at the doctor's with her. And one day we come home and sit down, and it's the beginning of my junior year, and she says, "Baby, I got some news." She said, "I won't be here to meet your babies, but I'll be here to watch you graduate." It was just, we cried, and she held me. And then we fought, man. We fought hard. I fed her through a tube every morning. I took care of her. And then one day I came home and it was over. I found her. I laid for about an hour just hoping she would wake up, just praying, like, if you're God, you're real. Don't take her. She didn't come back. So, man, from 17 to 21, probably about 20, I didn't believe in God, man. Like, I ran the streets, south side of Houston. I was in every jail this side of Houston, Galveston County, Brazoria County, Harris County. I was in and out of jail. I was doing things I wasn't proud of. I never raped nobody. I never killed nobody. I never stole from nobody. I was just a regular street kid, just causing problems. And I was angry. I was angry for a long time. And there's a purpose to this story, guys. There's a purpose, I promise you. I'm not dragging you on. In the end, I met my wife about 21, and she introduced me to God. And she brought me to church. And I told her, I don't believe in God. That's a book of stories. Like, you can keep on going. And we end up getting pregnant, and we're gonna have a baby. And she said the baby's gonna be raised Christian. I said, that's fine, but I still don't believe. And for a year, she invited me to church every day. She's like, we need to go to church. We need to go to church. And I still didn't believe. And one day we went, And if you ever, I don't know, you don't have to be religious. I don't care what religion you are or whatever. But the pastor that day spoke to me and he just said some things because I was an angry person, man. Like, no lie, man. I ran a dude off the road one time and I drug him out of his truck because I saw him run over a cat. And I was gonna either kill him or make him eat that cat. Like I was just angry all the freaking time, dude. And I didn't care about dying. And it's funny that very next day is when I went to church and he spoke to me and I just began to realize that I wasn't looking at this thing right. God didn't take my mom at 17. He gave me 17 years with an angel because she chose to volunteer to be in my life. And when I unlocked that, when I realized, like, man, you're being a little blank about things, right? Like you're crying about things when you got a gift. Like that don't make any sense. And when my mom was dying, she told both my older brothers, she said, go to college and don't ever come back to this house. Go build your life and don't come back. She said, nothing good is here. Nothing good has ever been here for you. And my brothers left and they didn't come back. And I dealt with a lot of things her. And I just remember my brother telling me while I was in and out of jail and causing problems, he said, mom's dying and you're a piece of shit. Like this is what she sees. Like this is what you're doing. You're representing her by what you're doing. And I was 17. I just couldn't figure it out. Like I was just too selfish, just to be honest with you. So about the age of 21, I came up with this analogy for my big why, and this drives everything that I do. And this why drags me through everything. I don't care how hard it gets. I don't care what's going on. Like nothing will ever break me because my big why is this. I believe that when I started my journey of this big why around 21 years old, I was like a speck of glitter. And she was in heaven, and someday she could see me, and someday she couldn't, just depending on how the light shined on my glitter, right? So I'm sorry, guys. So I came up with an analogy that in order for her to see my light, like in order for her to see me to the ends of the earth, I just had to share my light with everybody, man. I had to lift people up. I have to tell them about God. I have to let people know that there's something better out there for you. I can't approach people with judgment. I have to love people no matter where they're at and what they're doing. And then I believe that if I do enough of this, like I'm gonna shine my light to the ends of the earth, and she'll see me from heaven, and she'll know that she didn't screw up with me. Like she did really good. So you guys are my blessing more, and I'm your blessing today. Just hearing me, you shine my light, and I appreciate you guys for that, and I do. And I'm not saying you got to have a why that's that robust. I'm not saying you got to have a story. I'm pretty sure there's at least 5 people on here that have a much harder life and upbringing than I ever had. You don't have to have all that, but you got to grab onto something to pull you through this shit because it gets hard. Life is hard, man. Not just real estate, but life in general is hard. I teach everybody around me like I teach my kids. You're going to take some ass whoopings. You better be ready for it. I tell my kids, save the tears for the big shit because it's coming. I wish it didn't, mama. I wish it didn't, but it comes. So find your big why, guys. Like tie it to something bigger than you and understand that your strength lies solely in your tenacity. It's your ability to get through the hard stuff. Most people in this industry don't make it because they don't make it. People think it's because of lead gen. You don't make it because of this. Most people in this industry don't make it because they give up. So you got to have a big why to help you the tenacity to get through all the hard crap that's going to happen because this is an entrepreneur's business. You're building your own business. You're going to take some serious ass kickings. It's either lay down, give up and go home and go get another job or deal with it, move forward, keep on growing and get it done. But it's going to take a big why to get it done. I'm going to challenge you guys to figure out what your big why is. Figure out that thing that's going to drag you through all the adversity and keep you moving forward in this industry. That's number one. So number one is get to know your big why. Number two, when you're getting on the phones, there it is. Share them with me, man. Everybody should hear, like, what's your big why? Why do you do what you do? Why do you get out of bed? Right? Number two, you're not getting on the phones for you. You're getting on the phone. You're getting on the phone for these people that need you. Right? That's one of the biggest problems that I run across when I'm training people is they say, well, I don't want to call everybody because I don't want to bother everybody. And I feel like I've called everybody in my database and I don't want to cold call because I'm bothering more people and blah, 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 and all this other stuff, right? Here's the deal is, why do people bother other people? Because you have no value. So think about that. People believe that your value in real estate comes from your knowledge and sales of real estate, right? People believe it comes from your experience in real estate. That's not 100% true. Your value can come from many different places. Here's the deal. You don't have to raise your hand, but I know we're going to answer similar answers on this. Are there real estate agents out there that have a ton of experience but bad hearts and screw people over? Do you know any? Have you heard of any? Have you seen? Yeah. So here's the deal is, what if you're the person that has a really good heart and won't screw them over, but you don't have the knowledge and experience and you're not reaching out to people? Therefore, they're getting screwed by the bad agent who's going to end them up in a lawsuit, who's going to end them up in a bad deal, who's going to lose them money, and little Timmy ain't going to go to college, and that's all your damn fault. So find your value. Where's your value? Your value doesn't have to be in your knowledge. Your value can be in the fact that you love people and you want to do right by people. You may not have all the answers. Heck, nobody does. But find your value. Why that's so important. And I talk to different people. So here's the deal. When when people come to me and they say, well, I don't want to bother people, that's why I don't call. I ask them, like, when did you devalue yourself? And when did you start telling yourself that you had no value? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, when you don't have value, that's bothering people. Think about it. Every one of you, most of you started mentioning the names of people that are very important to you. Every one of you has a special person in your life that you would die for. When that person calls you, do you feel bothered? No, you love them. You would die for them. You want them to call you. I want my daughter to call me from college all the time because she has value. If my daughter called me every damn day, it would never bother me because she has value to me. Is it in real estate knowledge? No. It's value of love. So the reason why you feel like you bother people is because you don't understand your value. And your value doesn't have to be found in real estate. It can be found in all kinds of things. So understand that. So number one is big why. Number two, you're getting on the phones for them, not you. When you have value, you deserve to get on the phone with them and they deserve to be in touch with you. So you better start making these calls. You better start reaching out to people. You better start building relationships. Number three, come from curiosity. When you are not truly curious, you're going to miss things. Right? So think about it. There is surface motivation, and then there's people's real motivation. If you're working strictly on surface motivation, you may not get everything you need out of that relationship. You may not find out everything you need to help this person find what they're really looking for. I go back to this one story. I was helping a guy years ago. It's probably it was about 9 years ago. Helping a guy buy a house. He wants to move from one neighborhood, like 3 neighborhoods over. It wasn't even that far. It wasn't even a mile away. He wanted to move from a 3-bedroom to a 5-bedroom. He wanted to be in this gated neighborhood that was zoned to a couple particular different schools. And so most agents, you're like, okay, I know what neighborhood, I know many have bedrooms, I know our square footage, I know the school's cool. I'm going to go and run a search for you. But me, I stayed curious, right? And I asked him, like, can I ask you a question? Like, why is this neighborhood so important to you? Why is the gated community so important to you? Why are these schools so important to you? And he broke it down for me. He said, Ozzie, my sister's moving in with me. That's why I need the 2 extra rooms, because she's got my nephew. Her husband's not a good dude. They're getting a divorce. She's moving in with me. So I'm going to be taking in my sister and my nephew. And my nephew is special needs. He has autism. And we don't want him in a neighborhood that's not gated because we don't want him to get out of here. We don't want him to be able to slip out and get hurt or anything like that. And this neighborhood is zoned to a different elementary school than that neighborhood. And this neighborhood has a very good special needs program. And the whole game changed for me. I found out why we were doing this. It took on a new meaning for me. I worked harder for them. I developed a relationship for them. I made it a part of my mission to accomplish his mission. So stay curious, guys. Like, don't just find surface, find true motivation. True motivation not only will help you get into action to do better for them, but it'll also help you develop a relationship that's going to last forever with these people. And that's one of the most important things you can do. So number one is know your why. Two, right? Go to work for them. Number three, come from curiosity. Number four is come from contribution. This is a big one. When you're in real estate, there are times as agents, especially if you're growing your business, and even maybe not, sometimes you run into hard times where you don't got all the closings you need. And you're like, man, I might have to get out of this business if I don't close something soon. No matter what your situation, always come from contribution. This isn't about your money. This isn't about your appointment. This isn't about your commission. This isn't about your closing. This is about another human being. This is about you serving them. There may be a time when you've got to talk someone out of buying a house because it's not the right house for their situation. There may be a time when you lay all the stuff out on the table for them and it's just not a good deal for them. It's not your job to sway them into the house so you can get a damn commission. There's going to be a time when you got to put their dollar above yours. And I promise you, and I know it might be painful, and I know you think like, sometimes you get in a situation like, I don't have enough money, and if I lose this deal, I'm screwed, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Guys, God will bring it back to you tenfold. Don't worry about it. Just do right by his people. Put their money above your money. Come from contribution no matter what. That's a game changer right there. Number five. So number four is come from contribution. Number five, fall in love with the action, not the results. This is a big one. Real estate agents miss it. Fall in love with the action, not the result. You're going to go through times in this business where you're lead generating, maybe you're cold calling, maybe you're spending money on ads, maybe you're doing all these things and you're not getting the result. Continue doing the action. Continue doing the action. If we link all of our success in this industry strictly to the result, which is closings, most of us will feel worthless like 80% of our real estate career. Don't do that to yourself. So there's a book I tell people to read, The 4 Disciplines of Execution, and it talks about lead measure, lag measure. Number one, before lead measure and lag measure, fall in love with the action, not the result. That's about tenacity, right? Some people do lead generation for a month and then quit, 2 months and then quit, 3 months and then quit. They quit at the end of the third month, and the fourth month was when the gold was coming. But they didn't stick to it. They gave up too early. They went and got another job and forgot about it and whatever. Tenacity, number one. But the other part of it is, as you're lead generating, as you're building this business, understand that you're building a skill. Understand that you're developing relationships, right? It's far more valuable than anything else. So fall in love with the action, not the result. 4 disciplines of execution. Within the 4 disciplines of execution, there's a way that can help you to fall in love with the action, not the result. They talk about, I'll break it down for you. They talk about lead measures and lag measures. Lead measures and lag measures. And I'm going to compare it to weight because I'm a nice, big, sexy guy. And I'm always in and out with my weight and stuff like that. It's my battle, right? So I love food. Maybe it's a Mexican thing. I don't know. I love food. So I always have these battles, and I've always been trying to figure out, like, how do I get my health right? And I've been able to lose like 30, 40 pounds, and I'm still getting better at it, right? I'm building my habits. In this book, they talk about if you were in a weight loss thing, and all you did was weigh yourself every day, that's a lag measure. The scale is the end result, that's a lag measure. The closings and getting the paycheck, that's the end result, that's a lag measure. So if you want to really get the lag measure to move and that scale to move in the direction it's going to work for you, or the closings to move in the directions you want to, you need to create lead measures. Lead measures. Oh, and here's what I'm going to do. Guys, I'm going to do something I didn't do the last time I did this. Can you open up my share screen, Todd? I'm going to show y'all something super powerful. We got to keep this between us. Some game-changing stuff. Let me open it up on the screen while I do it. Yeah, I don't usually cover this, but I'm going to do it now. Okay, so I can share my screen now. I'm going to get logged in over here. Okay, here we go. Lead measures and lag measures. So we work off a lead measure. So I have a system, guys. I'm gonna go deeper than last time. Todd, I'm bringing you guys extra value. I didn't do this last time. So we use Follow Up Boss as our CRM. In my Follow Up Boss, 17 years, I collect data. I love data. I want information. I want leads. I've got 44,458 leads in my system. Right. And my people call every day. I make them go to work and we call and we call and we call. So I want to show y'all something. So we talk about lead measures and lag measures. The lag measure, like I said, was closings, all that other stuff, making money. Lead measures are your activities that you can actually track, and you can ask yourself every day, did I win or did I lose? Did I win or did I lose? And I know that if I win more than I lose, my scale is going to move. My weight loss scale is going to move. My closing scale is going to move. So can y'all see this Follow Up Boss right here? Y'all see the numbers? I want to show y'all something. So this right here, I love talking about Liz. These guys are brand new. Liz, she's been with me less than 4 months. She was formerly with KW, just being honest. I love KW. I love her. When she came to join me, she was a solo agent who hadn't closed a deal in a year. She comes to me. She's been with us less than 4 months. She's already had her first 2 closings, right? She's got 2 listings coming, and she's got 3 under contract. And it's all built on this lead measure, lag measure system. So we keep it simple. We've made a science out of this. So 17 years, I broke it down. I said, what do we need to track to win? Follow Up Boss helps us put it together. So here's the way it looks. So for each person, every outgoing email is worth 1 point. Every outgoing text message is worth 2 points. Every outgoing phone call is worth 10 points. And this tracks phone calls that are over 2 minutes are worth 100 points each. And every appointment is worth 500 points. It even records every conversation that goes through the system so we can go back and analyze it and discuss how we can do better at our conversations, or how we kick butt in a conversation and we can really show it to other people. So this is running your business like a business. I know. So we created a system to where if you get 1,000 points a day, 5 days a week, you're almost guaranteed over time to build a system that will get you 2 closings every single month. And it's mathematical. This is running your business like a business with lead measure, lag measure. The lead measures are the emails, text messages, outgoing calls, phone calls, and appointments. The lag measure is closings and money. But here's the deal. If we all worked off a lag measure, like the scale when we're losing weight, or closings and money, we would be disappointed a lot. Can we agree on that? Like if that's all we gave ourselves. So this helps you to get wins every day. Every day, did I get my 1,000 points? Yes, I did. Win, celebrate it. Like I go so deep, I tell my people, don't celebrate your closings. If you make $100,000 a day, good, woohoo, but that's not the real win. The real win is, did you still lead generate today? Did you consistently build your business today? Because that consistency is a habit. That habit helps you develop a skill, and the skill develops a pipeline that could feed your family for the rest of your life. If your habits suck, your weight's going to suck. I didn't eat 1 cheeseburger and get fat. I eat bad all the time. That's the way it works. It's the same thing in real estate. You got bad habits. You're not lead generating enough. You're not tracking those things and winning and celebrating those wins. You're going to end up with a shitty business. Right? So track your stuff. I don't care I'm a Brian Buffini certified mentor, all that stuff, right? I don't care if you're checking pop-ups. I don't care if you're checking pop-by gifts. I don't care if it's break breads. I don't care what system you're in. Come up with something that works, that every day you can say, if I do this, I win every day in my lead generation world. And do it every day and stick to it. Just like with your weight loss. you can narrow it down to a few things. If I drink enough water every day, I've got to drink 80 ounces of water every day. If I work out 30 minutes 4 times a week, right? If I don't go any fast food, those are my only 3 things I'm measuring. Don't eat junk, right? Just don't put the bad stuff in your mouth, right? You should be okay. Drink more water and work out a few times a week. I'm just going to grade myself on those 3 things. Sometimes you start with 1, sometimes 2. Eventually you'll build a habit. When you build the habit, you'll end up reaching success. That's what we monitor here. So I don't usually open this up for people, but if you look at this, so I mean, look at those numbers, guys. This month, this is just this month, 3,915 emails have gone out, 7,007 text messages, 7,899 outgoing calls, 651 2-minute plus conversations, and 201 appointments. This is a business that will bring in $150 million in sales volume and roughly about $2.3 million in commissions this year. It's trackable, it's manageable. Give yourself daily wins. Fall in love with the action on a daily basis, not the result. The result will come. Everybody got that? So 5 pillars, guys, understand those things. Know your big why. Get on the phone for them. Come from curiosity, come from contribution, fall in love with the action, not the result. If you are having failure in your business, if you're struggling, it's one of those 5 things. The other thing I teach people, I already covered with you just a minute ago, habit, skill, pipeline. First, you develop a habit. The habit helps you develop a skill. With the habit as a foundation, the skill will come, the pipeline will be built. You'll begin to make the money. But it's called TOT, time on task over time. It's not something you can do for 3 months. Like I can't eat a magic pill and lose weight. I don't eat 1 cheeseburger and get fat. It's the same thing in real estate. Time on task over time. Develop the habits of successful people. I hate to break it to you. Most trainings you go to, they're going to, like you join a new brokerage and they're like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a class on title and we're going to have a class on mortgage and survey. We're going to have a class on how to write contracts. Man, for me, I'm like, F all that. I don't give a crap about that. We'll figure out the contracts. We'll figure out surveys and title and all that crap. Here's the deal. If I send you to survey classes, title classes, mortgage classes, all these other classes, and I don't help you develop your habit of lead generation, you're just going to be a really educated, broke ass person and you're going to hate me for it. We do it backwards. I don't care if you know about contracts. We'll learn that. And I learned this by being a team leader and CEO for Keller Williams office, right? Every agent comes in. I want to be a top producer. Great. How many calls are you making a day? Well, I really don't want to. I don't want to go out there and make calls to lead generate because I don't know how to show houses yet. Well, I don't know how to do a buyer consultation yet. So I don't want to get on the phone because if I do, I won't know what to do. And I want to service my client at the highest level. Well, I don't want to go on a listing appointment because I don't even have a listing presentation perfected. So once I get that down, I'll start calling and I'll do it. Great. How long is it going to take you to build a perfect listing presentation? Oh, give me about 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, how's the listing presentation coming along? Well, I'm almost there. Month later, well, I'm almost there. 6 months later, you're a procrastinator. And everybody says, I'm a perfectionist. Perfection is another word for procrastinator. Quit bullshitting yourself. You're not a perfectionist. You're a procrastinator. Don't give me that crap. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's a perfectionist. That's a lie. There ain't shit perfect about none of us. My wife's perfect for me. Let's get that straight. That's about as far as we go. Nobody else to put up with my crap. But the truth of the matter is, when none of us is perfect, stop waiting for perfection. Just get into the action. I tell people this. Everybody says this. I want quality leads and quality conversations and quality relationship building. Guess what? You want to learn how to build a quality relationship? Quantity. Quantity. Think about it. The person who has one relationship does not have a perfect relationship. I'm sorry. That's just not true. Because it takes many people and many different relationships to teach you how to treat people. It's the same thing in real estate, guys. Quantity. I'm gonna put money on it. My systems, my approach, my customer service, my everything my team does will smoke what you do. And if you're a solo agent, we especially we smoke what you do. Why? Because here's the deal. If you're a solo agent, I promise you there's shit you miss in a transaction. I'm going to tell you, here's what our open houses look like. I'm going to go ahead and expose your open houses. Here's what our open houses look like. I tell my people this about open houses. It's not the open house that matters. Everything leading up to the open house. The marketing before the open house is the cake. The actual open house is the icing on the cake and the cherry on top. People show up, they put out 5 signs, they put out some busted ass cheese tray, and they expect people to walk in the door. They put it on Facebook and they're like, yeah, open house. Nobody shows up and they go telling everybody, open houses don't work. I don't make no money in open houses. Oh, this is horrible. Because your marketing sucks. I'm going to walk you through our marketing for our open houses. You ready? We get the listing. We go live on like a Wednesday or Thursday, but on Monday, we start our marketing. Put it on social media, put it on our local MLS, make sure it's on Zillow, broadcasted right. Then we start the real marketing. We pull a data list down. This is probably true in your area too, but it's really true in our area. There's a 73% chance that the person that is going to buy this house either knows someone within 1 square mile or 2 square miles or already lives within 2 square miles of this house. That means you don't have to win the whole world to sell the house. You've got to dominate within a 2 square mile radius to find that 73% person. 73% chance the person that's going to buy the house either lives or knows someone lives within 1 to 2 square miles. We call it birds of a feather flock together. That's a statistic in almost every suburb and almost every major metropolitan area in the United States. It's really big here in Houston. It does vary. It could be 65 in your area. It could be 85. I don't know. So with knowing that, we created a program and a plan, right? So I pulled down the data. You can use Cole Realty, which is another great place to grab information, whether you're cold calling, whatever. Cole Realty. You can use RedX. You can use like Vulcan 7. You can use all these sites to target an area, pull down names, numbers, and email addresses. And you take that information. Our team, we put it into text magic. We can text 1,000 to 5,000 people in 30 minutes to an hour, just like that. Simple text. Open house this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Beverages served. Meet us at 1123 Anywhere Lane from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. We'd like you to be able to pick your neighbor. Have a great day. Boom. Send it out. Then we plug it into Sly Broadcast. If you don't know what Sly Broadcast, it's RVM. It's a ringless voicemail. I can put 1,000 to 5,000, maybe 20,000 people in there. I leave one voicemail. It bypasses the ringer. It looks like you missed a call from me, but it never rang purposely. Go straight to your voicemail. In 30 minutes, we hit thousands of people, and it's simple. Hey, this is Ozzie. I'm with the AskOzzie.com real estate team. I don't want to waste your time. I just want to invite you out this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. because I wanted to give you the first opportunity to pick your neighbor before somebody crazy moves in. So this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're going to see you at 123 Anywhere Lane. Come out and have a beverage with us before somebody crazy buys and ruins your values. Guys, I can't wait to see you. Click, and you just drop that to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people in that immediate area, right? That's lead generation. Then you door knock. 5 doors this way, 5 doors this way, 10 doors across the street. Give out some flyers, right? Then you put out 40-yard signs. Then you circle prospect the neighborhood. At least the main neighborhood, circle prospect it. We pull down data from Cole. We pump it into our follow-up boss dialer. Now we grow our database and we make phone calls. My agents have 5 to 20 real estate conversations before the open house even starts. How many are you having with real prospects? Because you're not freaking marketing. You know, I call it Coca-Cola marketing. I'm going totally off the rail. I'm going to keep on going though, because I want to bring out as much value as I can. Coca-Cola marketing. This is the way real estate agents behave. I only want the hot leads. I only want people who are ready to get pre-approved, close the next 30, 90 days, or I don't want them. Anything outside of that is a bad lead. No, you're bad at conversion. You suck at this. That's going to hurt some people's feelings, right? But I'm just being real with you. Here's the deal. Imagine Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola marketed the way you marketed, this is the way it worked. Coca-Cola wouldn't advertise. You wouldn't see their names on the side of the trucks. You wouldn't see their billboards anywhere. They wouldn't be doing Super Bowl ads. Coca-Cola wouldn't do nothing if they performed like real estate agents. You know what they would do? What's y'all's favorite grocery store there? Over there in Florida? We got HEB, which is the best in the world. Publix. Okay, y'all got Publix. That's cool too. Okay. So imagine if Coca-Cola did what real estate agents do. You wouldn't see any advertising anywhere. And then you walk into Publix and then you turn down the soda aisle and Coca-Cola and all their people would be like, hey, buy Coke. Come here. Buy Coke. You ain't heard from us all year. We don't call you. We don't text you. We don't advertise. You don't even know who the hell we are, but you need to buy Coke now that you're in the Coke aisle. Oh, you want Sprite instead? Oh, man. But go to Coke right here. That's what real estate agents do. You're trying to target the 5% in the store that already knows that they're buying root beer. They're not buying your damn Coke because they don't know you. Focus on the 95% of people who haven't made it to Publix yet. Hit them before they show up to Publix. Hit them before they write down their freaking shopping list. Hit them before they're on the Coke aisle. But you don't do that. And you're like, these aren't hot leads. You focus on the 95% of people who are going to buy within the next 5 years, develop the relationship, show them value. So when they get to Publix and they walk down the soda aisle, they say, I'm buying Todd's product because I already know Todd. I came specifically to this aisle to buy on this shelf right here that's Todd's product because I already know Todd. Consumers have already made up their freaking mind most of the time before they ever get to the soda aisle, before they ever realize that they're going to buy a piece of real estate, but you only want the hot leads, the 5% of people that are actually in the market right now. And you're upset when they don't use you because they don't know you. Fix your marketing. Get in front of them. Give them value every day. Open your book, guys. You service buyers and sellers. I bet you can come up with a list of things that you get asked all the time that are important. Come up with a list of all the questions. Create a video for all the answers you have for them. These are the top 3 things that buyers need to know in your area, buying in the Orlando area right now. Guys, this is Ozzie Ramirez, and I just want to hit you with the top 3 things. I'm with Agents Empowering Agents and EXP Realty and the AskOzzie.com real estate team. I'm going to drop the top 3 things that buyers need to know in our area when they're buying a property in Orlando. Ready? Let's get started. And then do the video. And then put it on social media, put it on Twitter, put parts on Instagram, put it on YouTube, and then send it out to your database. And do it week after week after week, so that by the time they're willing to buy, they come to you. Or by the time they have a cousin that's willing to buy, they're starting to refer to you. So guys, I went through the 5 pillars. I talked about a lot of things we talked about. Now I've gotten to a lot of the big why stuff. Let's get down to the nitty gritty of it all. So the system we use was Arch Agent, right? I didn't use the dialer. I printed it out back then. Now you can get data for sale by owners and expireds anywhere. You can get it from Vulcan 7, Redx, and all kinds of stuff. But I'm about to give you the free. Y'all ready? Go to Zillow.com. Y'all can still see my screen, right? I'm going to walk you through it. Ready? Go to Zillow.com. I'm going to get rid of it. I don't want them to know who I am right now. Go to buy right here. The buy drop down hits here. Oh, look at that. Actually, guys, you want to know something crazy? I just wrote an offer. I'm buying a house right here, a little beach house. I just bought it. I got it for real cheap. I'm going to fix it up. So you go here, and I'm going to get rid of this. And then you go to for sale right here. So I went to buy. This screen comes up. Go to for sale, and you have this drop down box. Hit this arrow, and I already did it. So my system already knows me. Uncheck all these boxes. Uncheck coming soon. Uncheck by agent. New construction. Just check the buy owner box. Hit done, and you can scroll down. So this is the greater Houston area. This is my market. So if you want to send some referrals to Houston from this area on down, this is my hood right here. This is the 45 South corridor to Galveston, Texas, to East downtown Houston. This is my area right now. So this is the, usually it says 0 agent listings right here. You're going to have to click this one over here. So you're going to have to move it over here. So here there's no, because I did it for sale. I did it for sub owners. There's no agents. Move it over here to 129. There are 129 for sale by owners in this area that I consider my market. Now I can go in and I click on one of these dots, and this is where we find the magic. So knowing about Zillow, knowing about your competitors, knowing where you can find data is very important. So I studied Zillow for a long time, right? I would go in and you can see how inexpensive properties are here. You could go in and I would actually put properties on the market that I owned, and I would put them on Zillow to see where the leads went. And I had a guy named Dominic. He was a Zillow agent. I think he quit recently, but I used to call him and say, "Hey, I want to be a premier agent. I've never bought a Zillow lead. I'll tell you that right now." I said, "I want to be a premier agent. What does that cost? What does it look like?" And all I would do is I spend like an hour on the phone asking him questions because I wanted to know how Zillow operated. And then I'd go in, I'd put a property in, I'd put a fake email address, I'd see what it was like, I'd see where the leads went, I would track it, I would act like a consumer, and I began to learn what Zillow was doing. First off, the first piece of information I want to share with you is you go down here. Where is it at? Oh my God. Do they really? Hey, we're learning together. Watch this. There it is. So if you look at it right here, guys, they've actually changed some things up since the last time I was on. But if you look at it right here, you scroll down just a hair, past overview, and then you look here, it says listed, and there's property owner. So there's the seller's number right there. So you have an address, you have a price, you have basic information, and then now have the seller's number right here. So you can take this number right here and just go ahead and call. So I'm gonna mess around real quick. Most of you guys are in Orlando. Where's Orlando? Let's see if it works the same in your market. Oh, there we go. All right. So right now you got 100 in this main Orlando area right here. I'm guessing this looks like the main Orlando area. You've got 83 for sale by owners right here. So if you look over here, let's look at, I like Edgewood. That sounds cool. Edgewood. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's go. Let's look at Edgewood. Here's a property right here. Boom. Edgewood by the lake. This is unit E. This is like a condo, obviously. And you go down here, guys. Here's your number. Anybody want a cold call? Anybody want to talk to a for sale by owner? They got a property. They're raising their hand. I got a property for sale. Here's my number. 407-855-8364. It's free. That's free 99 right there. You can look that up right now. Grab the information, call them. Right now, here's where knowing Zillow can help you. So I created a Zillow on my YouTube page, a Zillow, one of these videos to break this down, but I'll get into as much as I can real quick. So here's the deal. Most for sale by owners think, I'm going to put my property on Zillow and Zillow's going to help me sell my property. It's marketing. This is where the consumer goes. It may be true, kind of, but here's the problem with it. This says for sale by owner. Can we agree on that? If it says for sale by owner, why the heck does this button say contact agent? We start thinking. Okay, so here's the deal. It says for a sale by owner, it says contact agent. Here's what you need to know about the internet. Why is Facebook free to you? Why is Zillow free to the consumer? If it is free to you, you are the product. You are what's getting sold. Your data, your eyeballs, your watches, your views, that's what's getting sold. Companies are paying for your eyeballs, right? So here's Zillow. Zillow got really sneaky with it, right? So the consumer puts their property on here for free. Consumer goes and sees it for free. And real estate agents pay Zillow to get all those leads. You hit the contact agent button, put your name, number, email address, and then down here at the bottom it says, by pressing contact agent, you agree that Zillow Group and its affiliates and real estate professionals may call or text you about your inquiry, which may involve use of automated means, blah, blah, blah. So Miss Seller, Mr. Seller, I notice you're listed on Zillow. I used to list my properties on Zillow. And when I found out what they were doing with my listing, it kind of pissed me off. And I don't want to break your heart, but would you like to know the truth about what Zillow is doing with your property? No, I know. I already know. Are you sure? Are you totally sure? Because I'm looking at it right now, and you've been on 18 days. You've had 604 views, and you had 10 saves. Has anybody ever told you what a save is? A save is when someone goes in, puts their name, number, and email address, registers with Zillow, and then saves your property. That information goes somewhere as a lead. Did you get 10 people? Did Zillow send you 10 leads of buyers with name, number, and email address that are interested in your property? No? Okay. I'm willing to bet it went to these agents. So it was free for you. You're the product. They're selling your leads. How do you feel about that? How do you feel that Zillow is paying to get, like, they're getting paid by agents? Agents are buying the leads. Agents are getting rich. And this is the common thing I hear from people is they say, well, I don't care if an agent comes, I'll pay an agent 3%. Hey, I get it, but here's the problem with that. This is the way it works. I want to tell you the truth. That's my job, is to be honest with you. Here's what happens. They click contact agent. They put all their information in. Lead goes to a real estate agent. Agent calls them. Agent sets up an appointment, meets with them, gets them to sign a buyer consultation, shows them properties on the MLS, not Zillow, not your property, other properties on the MLS, because those MLS properties already have a natural agreement between agent and agent about a commission, so they know they're going to get paid. Here, there's no guarantee of a payment. And also, honestly, I mean, you got to think about it. If somebody's listing on for sale by owner, they're not hiring an agent. That means they're basically saying, I don't want to pay a commission. So they're telling us they're not really willing to negotiate. What buyer wants to deal with someone who doesn't want to negotiate? We're in America. We negotiate. So what you're doing is you're raising your hand, you're selling your leads, you're making agents rich. And these buyers, 10 buyers have been bought, sold, and they're looking at other properties. And I bet you almost all of them are getting under contract this week, and they're not getting on contract to your property. How does that make you feel? I know you're upset, and I'm sorry. If I could show you a way, to beat Zillow at the game and you make the money and you win, would you be interested in making more money and beating Zillow at the game? I knew you'd agree with me. When's good? Today at 4:30 or tomorrow at 5:30. Let's sit down and talk. I'm going to show you how to beat Zillow at the game and put more money in your pocket, if that's what you want to do. Not everybody wants to make more money, but it sounds like you're a smart person. That's what you want. So let's meet. Fantastic. I'll see you tomorrow at 4:30. Perfect. Let's go. Right? But it's knowing what's going on here. It's the education of what the consumer's seeing. I am addicted, and I'm absolutely infatuated with the way consumers behave online. That's why I know this stuff when most people don't. So that broken down is roughly what I call the Zillow script. It starts off a little bit different. If you want to, it is 3:18. We got plenty of time. Would anybody like to script practice with me on a for sale by owner or an expired or any of that stuff? And I want somebody who's be a little tough, but here, this is another great thing. This is the way we do our script practice and role play. I want at least 3 objections, make it tough on me. And then I want the appointment in the end. Give me the appointment. But you don't have to with me all the time, because I'm tough on myself. I want it to be hard. But if you're going to script practice and role play with a partner, which you should be doing a lot, you want to give 3 objections and then give them the appointment. And I'm going to go ahead and say it, because some of you are thinking about it. Well, I don't do script practice and role play because I don't want to learn scripts, because scripts are canned and I'm going to sound like a robot. Here's the deal. You're fooling yourself. You already use scripts. We've all got scripts. Everybody's different. You ever met that dude that says, living the dream? That's a script. Somebody else said it. They took it. They use it. If you say, hello, how you doing? That's a script. If you say, what's up? That's a script, right? You want to know the original script you learned? It was when you were in elementary school, and it's called the ABCs. Somebody took the letters and they made this alphabet so that you can put them together and form words to communicate. That's a script. A, B, and most of us learned it like this: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Right? QRS. That's a script. So stop fooling yourself and say, I don't want to do script because I don't want to learn, be canned or whatever. It's the ABCs. Somebody learned a language, can speak it better than you, can get places that you've never been, have more experience than you. They took all the letters and the words and they packaged them and they said, hey, this worked really well for me. You should try it. And when you practice enough, the words become yours, just like the ABCs. The words become yours and you can form them any way you want to. The script I just gave you, the information I just gave you, that's a Zillow script. I created that, me. But here's the deal. Somebody's done it better than me. Somebody will do it better than me. Somebody will come and make it better than I made it. Like I'm not that self-righteous to believe I'm that damn good. So I'm giving it to you in hopes that one of you will master it and turn it into money. I love it. I had a guy message me from New York say, I got a $1.3 million listing and I lose your Zillow script. I appreciate it. Did I make any money? No. I met that dude like that day. He messaged me. I didn't even know he listened to my script. But you can use it too. It's yours now. Who wants to jump on? Who wants to do? You pick it.
I'll go. First of all, thank you for sharing. Amazing. Don't change a damn thing.
I appreciate it.
I used to work for Ford. That's the best. This is the best. I don't know what you want to call it. Zoom meeting, whatever. You're the best speaker I've ever heard. Like real person.
That's crazy. I appreciate it.
I swear to you.
I appreciate it. So let's hop on. If somebody wants to do, Mike, you want to do this with me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm calling you. Do you want to be a for sale by owner or you want to be expired?
I want to be the annoying for sale by owner.
Okay, for sale by owner. Okay. So no, just come at me with some things when we get into it. Don't be a complete jerk, but even if you do, I know how to deal with it. Right. And let's just go through it. I want to work through some things. Give me at least 3 objections to overcome so everybody can hear it. And I'm going to do my best. I believe I'm really damn good at this, and there ain't nothing you can throw at me that I'm not used to, unless you do something crazy like somebody died in the house, like something wild, whatever. We'll okay, you ready? Start off. Ring, ring. You're answering.
Hello, Michael speaking.
Yeah, Michael, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm pretty good. It's a little cold here in Florida, but I'm good.
Man, that's awesome. So here's the deal is I'm in Florida too. I'm just up the street from you. And I was actually looking at properties here on Zillow. And I saw your property here on, actually, hold on. I missed it. Let me go back and find it. I'm looking on Zillow and I found this property you have. The property at 1227 Moselle Avenue. Is that still your property?
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Okay. So first off, I don't want to waste your time. I want to get quick as possible to the information that I need here. Is the property still for sale right now? Do you have any offers or anything?
No offers at the moment, but yeah, it's still for sale.
Okay. And can you tell me like the big deal, like how's the roof, how's foundation, AC, like all those things? Like, can you tell me about that with the property?
So replaced the roof like 2 years ago.
Okay.
Foundation, as far as I know, is good. I mean, it's a really solid property. I just need something bigger. I mean, I love it. I don't want to sell it, but you know, everything's got a price on it.
So it sounds to me like it's a pretty good property. $200,000 seems very inexpensive. I like it all. I'm calling for buyers and things like that. I want to make sure to get information on this property. Can I ask you, why aren't you using a real estate agent? Like there's nothing wrong with title or survey or encumbrances. There's nothing funny I need to know, is there?
No, sir.
No? Okay, perfect. So why aren't you using a real estate agent?
Well, not my first go around. I have several properties and I've sold the last 2 by myself and I think I did pretty good.
Okay, so you sold your, when was the last time you sold a property?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. So I've been in the industry for quite a while and I've seen a lot of changes. And one of the biggest changes I've seen is the way Zillow performs. And, you know, it kind of upset me a little bit when I found out the truth about Zillow as a consumer, like selling my own properties. But has anybody told you what Zillow's doing with all your leads?
I mean, I just have the one property. What do you mean with all my leads?
Okay, so here's the deal. Right now, I'm looking at your property online. It says $200,000, says for sale by owner, all that stuff. And then it says contact agent. Do you have who's your real estate agent?
Oh, I don't know why it says that. I don't have a real estate agent.
Okay.
Really
well, I'm gonna click on the button and see if I can get more information from Zillow. But I'm reading here at the bottom. If I fill this form out, it says contact agent, big blue button, probably the biggest button on the screen. It says by pressing contact agent, You agree that Zillow Group and its affiliates and real estate professionals may call or text you, but you don't have an agent, but they say an agent's going to contact me. Like who did Zillow hire for you?
Oh no, no, sir. I'm not aware of this.
So here's the deal. I knew that already. I know the truth about Zillow. And I know right now you've been on the market with Zillow 54 days. You've had 1,256 views. Oh my God. A lot of people are interested in your property. And you've had 7 people give their name, number, and email address to Zillow and say they're interested in your property. How many of those 17 people did Zillow deliver directly to you to buy your property?
None at the moment.
Okay. Can I be honest with you and tell you the truth about what's going on?
Yes, sir.
So it was free for you to use Zillow, correct?
Yes, I mean that's why I chose it.
Okay, so it's free to you because you're the product and your leads are the product. The way Zillow works is real estate agents pay Zillow on the back end $3,000, $5,000, upwards of $8,000 a month to get all the leads off your property. So Zillow's not happy with you winning. Zillow wants the real estate agent to win because Zillow is the one paying them. That's the money source. And I'm willing to bet you also probably got a bunch of real estate agent phone calls, didn't you?
I did. I wasn't sure why that was happening.
So there's also third-party companies that Zillow collects data from people as you put it in, and they sell it out to third parties, and those third parties sell them to real estate agents. So you've got a lot of phone calls from agents who just want to list your property. I'm willing to bet.
Yes, sir. I mean, I've been
Okay.
avoiding them. Yours got through, but
So if I could show you a way to make the phone call stop from badgering real estate agents, and if I could show you a way to beat Zillow at their game and get more of these leads directly into your pocket so you can sell for the most money, are you interested in making more money or you want to keep doing it like this?
I mean, I like the honesty and you actually kind of giving me some value and showing me something. But I just, unlike most people, I've sold 2 properties on my own. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't know. I really don't want to lose money. Is my thing.
Gotcha. So you're talking about net dollars in your pocket, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all I talk about too. I talk about net dollars in your pocket because the goal is for you to win. And that's all that really matters in this situation. I want you to win. So if I could show you how to win and put more net dollars in your pocket than you could on your own, would you meet with me today at 4:30 or tomorrow at 5:30?
If there's coffee involved, yes.
Yes, let's do it. So here's the deal. I'm just going to be honest with you. My whole intention is to meet with you to show you better ways to sell your property. Worst case scenario, I'm going to give you a lot of value information so you can sell it on your own and make top dollar. Best case scenario, you want to make really the most money. You see value in me and my firm. You hire us, and I help you put more net dollars in your pocket than you really could on your own. So I'm ready to meet with you, pull out all the stops, and show you everything you need to know. So which is best again, today at 4:30 or tomorrow at 5:30?
Today at 4:30, I need to know this stuff right away.
Perfect. I look forward to meeting you today at 4:30. So a lot of the rebuttal I get sometimes, guys, is people say, well, why would you do that for free? What's in it for you? Why would you just come out here knowing I'm not going to hire you? And I say, here's the deal. I've built one of the largest referral business in the city of Houston. Here's how I do it. I give away knowledge over and over. So here's the deal, Mike. I come to your house. I show you how to sell the property. You use my tactics. You don't hire me. You make the most money. One day in the next 6 months, somebody's going to ask you, who's a great real estate agent? You're going to say Ozzie. You're going to refer him to me. That's how I build a big business. So whether you use me or not, I just want to bring you value. If that's okay with you, let's go ahead and meet. Right?
No, that sounds great. This is a
So,
fake situation, and you got me.
mm-hmm. But I practice, right? I've done this a lot. This ain't my first rodeo because I mastered the scripts.
No, yeah.
All right. What else, guys? So I feel like I've covered a lot. I've hit majority, if not all my points that I wanted to really convey to you guys. And we got about 30 minutes left. And, if there's more you want to learn about the way I run my team, if you want to learn about different scripts, different ways I build business, or anything about what we've covered so far, guys, the floor is open. Or Todd, you want to lead a conversation? It's up to you guys.
No, I think you're doing great. You hit the points. Any other tactics you're using to try and get listings besides the FISBO stuff or expireds?
So let's see. Honestly, it's a constant communication with my database. So with our database, we use Follow Up Boss tied in with Ylopo. Ylopo has a way to retarget and remarket. Ylopo has artificial intelligence that communicates with the clients on a daily basis, or the customers that are shown in our database, sets them up with custom searches, stays in communication with them, raises a flag when they hit high or urgent priority. It shoots it over to our ISA and they have a conversation with them to set the appointment. We also, we began what we call a multi-channel. So what we're doing is we use all of our real estate agents. We communicate with people at a high level. I encourage my people to put out at least one video a week, and the videos have to be one of three things. So every week we put out at least one video, and these are the three videos that are going to engage your people. One, it's an inspirational video, right? Or it can be an inspiration. You tell a story of inspiration. Number two, it's educational or informational. So educate them on what you're doing in real estate. Educate them on all kinds of things that they need to know. And the number three video is personal. Let them a little bit into your life. We are in a battle for eyeballs. I learned that from John Cheplak, my business coach, right? We're in a battle for eyeballs. The consumer is a voyeur. They are watching. You want to know how we know they're watching? Because Facebook exists. Billions of people would not be on Facebook if they didn't enjoy watching other people or having people watch them and what they're doing. We share, we watch. It's a voyeur relationship. You as a real estate agent are in a battle for eyeballs. Are you winning them? Are you losing them? And the disclaimer I give you on that with winning the eyeballs, the disclaimer I'm going to give you is not everybody's meant to be in business with you. Not everybody's meant to be your client. I put out my videos and sometimes I piss people off. Sometimes I put out too many videos. Guess what? I am okay with that. I don't care. If you want to unfriend me or not follow me, or you want to talk trash about me and my videos and what I'm doing, guess what? You're a hater, right? I don't want you in my life in the first place. You're a negative person. I don't need you around me. You don't support what I'm doing. Kick rocks. I don't need you, right? But the ones that love you and support you, they're going to comment, they're going to like, they're going to follow. They may reach out and say, man, I really like that video you put out the other day. You're going to attract more of what you want, and you're going to repel more of what you don't want. That's a good thing. We're not meant to be with everyone. We're not meant to be in business with everyone. So figure out who wants to be in business with you real quick by creating videos and content and getting in front of people. Figure out who you don't want to be in business with. Create more content and repel the haters. Like, get them off you. We don't need it. What else? Go ahead, Mike. What you got?
So we're like the Florida version of you guys. We have the follow-up boss, Ylopo. How are you using Ylopo? Like, I'm struggling with that. I follow up with these people. I call, I text, I email. I'm not scared to call. And like, I just can't get anybody.
The system is about contacts, right? So this is another thing we learned from another top team and John Cheplak. It's about communication, right? So we are about massive communication. On average, it takes 14 pieces of communication with a single lead for that person to determine whether or not they're going to use you in their mind. 14. It can be a mix of text, email, all kinds of stuff. So guys, if you have Ylopo and you have Follow-Up Boss, like you go in here and you look at a certain lead, right? And you look at this lead and you look at their tags. So we have different things we can put this person on, right? So typically we'd put this on a Y import. And so I usually go through and I find out people, if they're not on a Y retargeting or Y import, I put them on a Y import tag or a Y retargeting tag, and Ylopo begins retargeting them. Guys, if you don't know what retargeting is, it's I'm sorry, I'm showing y'all this whole conversation. It's crazy. So you can see, look at all the communication that happens, right?
You gotta share back because I turned the screen off.
Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry guys.
That's all right. You're like talking and no one knows what you're talking about.
Haha, I'm crazy. I'm a crazy
go ahead
person.
and do share again.
I thought y'all were watching the whole time. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna use this one. Do not steal.
You gotta share though.
I'm doing it right now.
There we go.
You ready? Okay, so here we go. This is our follow-up boss, right? If you go in here, there's tags you can put on them. If you put a Y import tag or a Y retargeting tag, like go to your Ylopo advisor and ask them, what tag do I need to put on to make sure I'm getting retargeted on my clients and they're getting set on searches and all that stuff, right? You put the tag in, make sure everybody has a tag, communication starts to happen. And then, so if you look at all the conversations, right? So the lead comes in, Robin starts to communicate. They're set up as a priority lead. This is the STARS program. So they're set up on Ylopo STARS, which is basically like their own personal private search portal and website. As they behave on the Ylopo STARS site, it automatically configures to properties that they're prone to really like. It studies their behavior. As they look at it even more, it sets them up as an urgent lead and gets shot over to us. So that's what this is. And as it gets shot out to us, now we begin to communicate at a high level. So if you look at this, this is Raya.
Amazing.
Raya, you know who Raya is, right?
Yes,
We
he's
call her
great.
Casey on the team. So Raya communicates. It's a virtual assistant in sorts, but it's a computer. So the artificial intelligence, the computer is having a conversation here. How are you, Liz? I was closing my client's file out. Your name came up. Blah blah blah. And every agent that's in communication. So the agent that's assigned to this lead, it says, "Hey, I'm Robin's assistant with eXp Realty." So they represent themselves as our assistant, right? And then she says, "Is this still your email address? I want to send more listings. Would texting you a few listings be okay?" And it keeps going. And Ylopo is still communicating. And then Robin sends a text, and boom, right? The magic starts to happen in here.
Yeah.
And then Liz communicates back, right? And then it starts to happen. So how many pieces of communication did we send out? 1, 2, 3, and this is communicating nonstop. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 pieces of communication. And then Liz becomes a full lead. And then we start talking, and then we have an appointment. We send her lender information, and we keep on communicating with her. And this is Ylopo STARS and Matrix. We send them more information, and eventually she becomes a client, right? 14 pieces of communication. That's the key. Stay in front of these people. Don't wait until they're about to buy. Stay in front of them.
Well,
It's
the
the
worst
90.
is when you
Go ahead.
when you call and they're like, "Oh no, we decided to we bought with somebody else," and it's heartbreaking.
It does happen. It's going to happen a lot. Like, nobody's perfect. It happens to everybody. Here's the deal: is the only way you can feel that you did enough is if you make sure, did I have enough communication with this person? I'm going to give you guys one of my favorite scripts. It's one of the easiest scripts to get feedback on. This is game changing. This is worth $1 million in itself. If you're getting, and here's, first off, I hate the word ghosted. Don't ever say you're getting ghosted. Ghosted means that they're avoiding you, right? Most of the time, that's not what human beings are doing. Stop telling yourself bad stories and stop telling yourself stories somebody's ghosting you. They're just busy. They're having life happen to them just like it's happening to you. Text them this one text. Just checking on you, making sure I didn't drop the ball anywhere, ? And leave it alone. Just leave it. It'll work magic. I just want to make sure I'm not dropping the ball. It takes it off of you, puts it on them. Most of the time, they're going to say, "I am so sorry you didn't drop the ball. ABC happened this week. We had COVID. My car broke down." Like, they're just going to tell you about life happening, but just put it on them. "I'm so sorry. Did I drop the ball? Have I dropped the ball? Checking on you, making sure I didn't drop the ball. ? Leave it alone. Let it do the work." Super powerful if you feel like you're getting ghosted and the lead's not communicating with you. But yeah, so listing leads and stuff like that for sale by owner expired. So here's the deal: is we get our for sale by owner expired list from Vulcan 7. We take the Vulcan 7 data and we move it into Follow Up Boss. We set it on communication with Ylopo through the targeting and remarketing, and also through getting Raya to begin speaking with them as well as a lead. And we also call those leads as well. So the lead is, because we have their information, they're getting retargeting and remarketing on social media and Google. They're getting our text message from Raya, and they're also probably getting phone calls. So we have the best opportunity to reach out to those leads for sell by owners and expireds. That's one hot way to do it. Other ways, one thing you should be doing, this is a powerful way to market. Ask people in your office if you can go do a video. Live video is most important from their listings, right? You got to get permission. It's got to be inter brokerage, right? But who doesn't want you to market their property? So do a live video. Why live? If you look at your phone, guys, let me see. They change all the time, but I'm pretty sure. I'm going on to Facebook and I'm going to tap the live button. Doobie doobie doo. So if you look at it, if you look at right here under there, it's hard to see. Huh?
We still see.
Oh, y'all still can't see my. Okay, so let me stop the
No,
share.
I
real
can
quick.
see. I can
If
see
you look
it.
at it, like mine says 560.
You can look at my camera.
notified.
I can
So
see
can you see my
Oh,
camera
okay.
here?
Yes.
Right. So
Yeah.
mine says 740 people are online right now. They can see my video. So what doing live does is it goes to your audience and it also goes to like a area audience. So if you do a lot of videos from the same neighborhood, your content is going to begin popping up with people in that area.
I didn't know that.
So you almost become like the neighborhood professional. Do a live video from local stores in around the neighborhood you want to be in. Do live videos like, hey, I'm at this new restaurant over here. Come take a look. Da da da. Like you're promoting their business, promoting your business, and that live feed will be broadcasted to people in that immediate area. Do it as
Ozzie,
many as you can.
Do you retarget everyone in your follow-up boss account, or how do you decide out of 44,000
Everybody.
contacts?
Everybody. So I used to do it where I was like, well, I'm going to be real strategic. Man, just put everybody on it. If they unfriend you, if they unsubscribe, if they leave you alone, good. Get them out of your database. Stay in front of everybody who's willing to let you stay in front of them. So I don't differentiate. Everybody's on and people are like, stop sending me stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm totally apologize. I was just trying to bring you value. Would you like me to continue bringing you value? Oh, yeah, that's fine. You know, if you just move them, sometimes you just got to get them out of the database. That's fine. What else? What other questions?
Can we see your videos?
My videos? Yeah, heck yeah, we can do anything.
Yeah, where are you? What are you on social media? Can I follow you on social media?
So as a person, I'm at my 5,000 person max.
You got to delete somebody.
I do. I go through. You know what I do, guys? I do a purge. I go in and I say, guys, there's no sense in us lying to each other anymore. If you don't support me or you don't like me or you're secretly hating me, I'm going to ask that you unsubscribe, like get off my Facebook page and my social media feeds so I can let other people in. Is that cool? So no hard feelings. Maybe I'll see you around. Maybe I won't. But go ahead and just click the unfriend. It's okay. You won't hurt my feelings. And I do it like once every couple months.
We got to delete somebody today, Ozzie.
I'm working on it. I don't know where I'm at right now, but okay. So different videos. So we can go put them on YouTube too. This is where I put them all on YouTube. So I like deep house music and football videos, as you can see.
I love football.
Right?
Jets fan though. We never win.
I'm a Texans fan. You don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about not winning right now. So basically what I just keep on putting content out every single week. And I just started this, guys. I'm not some kind of like guru or some crap like that. I just started it. I've only got 64 subscribers, which isn't huge, but I create these videos. So I create my videos to teach real estate agents. Why? Because people are like, so number one, I teach real estate agents because I want to invite them into my world, because I want to recruit to my downline. I want to recruit to my team. My number one thing is I need more agents to service all these leads. So I want to build my team. I'm always recruiting. I'm always looking for talent. The cool thing is when I'm putting out these videos, if I'm educating a real estate agent, I'm also educating the consumer. And also if I'm educating a real estate agent, the consumer's like, hey, you're that guy who coaches the real estate agents. I want to use you. You must be the best. Right? So it serves dual purposes. So these are the videos. I started off, look, you can see like an evolution. So my truck is kind of like my domain. I just make the videos and people think it's weird. I have I have like all the technology everybody else has, right? So I have AirPods, and people are like, "Won't you wear AirPods?" I like my headset. I don't care. This is a jobber headset. It's got a wire. You can hate on me all you want. I'm me. I don't need you to like my headset, but people make fun of me. So I got my headset, and you can see these older videos where it's just me in my car. And then I got TubeBuddy. If you don't have TubeBuddy, download TubeBuddy and make it part of your process. TubeBuddy helps you to create thumbnails, so you can tell where I got TubeBuddy. Like I crossed the threshold into decent looking videos. But it's real quick and easy when you make a video. So I go live on Facebook on my Agents Empowering Agents page. So you can find all the content there if you want to see all the videos I've ever made. Agents Empowering Agents on Facebook. I go live, and then I can download it and I move it over to here. Once I move it over to here, I also move it into my CRM Grow, which is my my recruiting page, right? So this is my recruiting software. And then I share all the videos from here with everybody. And this is where I communicate and build business. But as you can see, as it goes up, my thumbnails got a little bit better. My videos probably got a little bit better. And you can see like the number in views starts to raise up. Like my #1 video, I think ever. What was it? I think it was my Zillow video. People share it all over. Where I
Zillow
teach people
stuff
about
is crazy.
Zillow.
I never realized all that stuff, but it's true.
Yeah, you can go on here and that Zillow video is different. And with TubeBuddy, it helps you create the cards so that when you create your video, you create the thumbnail, and then at the end you can create your cards, which it shows 3 different videos. So the 3 videos attract them to click and watch the next video. And if they click the next video, it actually helps your ranking in YouTube and the way that your videos are seen. But YouTube breaks all that. I mean, TubeBuddy breaks a lot of that down. So if you buy the upgraded TubeBuddy, you can study all your analytics. It helps you get more keywords whenever you're tagging your videos, so that you can build your audience. And my audience, because it's about content, guys. Are you putting out more content? You got to be searchable. YouTube is one of the best places to do it nowadays, because you got to think about it. When people want to go search anything, like how do I change my AC filter, or how do I buy a house, or how do I fix my credit, or how do I look at mortgage, or how do I pick a real estate agent, YouTube is almost always going to be in the top of that Google search.
Yeah, YouTube's the video version of Google now.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. Man, people fix motorcycles and crazy crap off of YouTube videos. Like they research it here. So there's a lot of data that can be in here, right? So there's the Zillow one. I had 98 views on that Zillow video. The truth about Zillow Fizbos.
I'll share that one tonight. I'm trying to get on the Facebook.
Yeah. So guys, I drop content every week. This week I dropped the investment, flip 100 homes, own 1,000 doors, and so much more. This is just my journey as an investor and buying a whole lot of properties. I just talk about all the ways to go find real estate investments, how to buy real estate investments, all kinds of stuff. So I've just, everything I know about anything in real estate. I even talk about, like, this one is 3 action items to living a more enjoyable life. Things that I do to make my life better. Like my whole goal, like, to be honest, if you looked at the back end of why I do a lot of this stuff, I didn't know my birth parents very well, right? I want to make sure when I'm gone, I want my kids to be able to go back and say, this is who my dad was, right? This is who he was. These are the things he loved to do. Like this would make me happy. I created a Facebook page in August of like 2009 or 10 or 11 or some crap like that. And I made it for me, and I made it for my kids. I wanted a place for me I want to share everything I see that's positive stories, uplifting stories, like everything that helps me stay positive. I've put it on this page for the past 7 years. If I like a video, if I make a positive video, if I like a meme, like I put it here. And I want people, and I want my kids especially, to have a place to go to just be positive, right? To learn about positivity, because that's what I want to be known for. I want to be known for the guy that helped people see a better life. I don't believe I'm meant to be a real estate agent. I believe I'm meant to be a motivational speaker. And that's all these videos. I just want to share more of it and more of it. So this is one of the things I'm most proud of, is this is a database of some of the most amazing stories, some most uplifting stories, and just positive stuff. And some of it's me, and it's all kinds of stuff. And it's I when I'm not feeling myself or positive, I just go to this page and I find something that's going to lift me up. It's called Feed the Good Wolf.
I
Yeah,
already
it's
followed it.
awesome idea.
Let's go. So yeah, this is all basically to create a almost like a diary for my kids when if I leave before I'm supposed to, or one day they'll be able to say, this is your grandpa.
Mm.
A good
Right.
idea. New digital age. Have
Yeah.
you heard of
That's a
Eric
page,
Thomas?
right? That's a Facebook page.
Yeah. So Feed the Good Wolf is an actual page.
Right.
Agents Empowering Agents
Is
is also an actual page.
okay. It's a page.
Yeah, I make them pages. I want people to interact, but like groups, sometimes they can get hijacked by weird stuff. So Agents Empowering Agents. So this is where I do the videos from here first on Agents Empowering Agents. Then, so this is what you do, guys. So you can do the video here, make it live or whatever. So if I do a live video, this one I shot here, when you click on it, and then right here, you can download the video, and I download it from there, and then I shoot it over to YouTube. And make sure when you're filming, you want to film panorama. YouTube ranks panorama videos higher. It's actually better formatted for cinema and YouTube and all that stuff. And this is my studio right here, this beautiful phone. I don't have anything fancy.
I have a question about your team, Ozzie.
Yes.
When you're hiring and recruiting and onboarding, what kind of requirements do you have for onboarding? I mean, obviously you're heavy prospecting. Is that a requirement that you have for new hires that you bring onto the team, or how do you?
So here's the deal. This is what I've learned, is that number one, hire for culture, train for skill, right? I don't care if you can make me all the money in the world. I care, are we going to align like with our hearts and our minds, right? Am I going to know that you have integrity and you're going to do all the right shit when I'm not around? Are you a positive person that's going to add to the positive culture here? Are you somebody that's going to contribute, or are you selfish? Are you a team player? So my initial interview is all about culture. And when I'm interviewing, people are like, well, what are the splits? I'm like, okay, I understand the question. I'm going to give you my first business lesson. Are you ready? And they say, yeah. I say, we don't talk about splits to the end, and here's why. I don't care if you lay $1 million in front of me right now and say, get into business with me. I don't need your money. You can keep it. I need to know what your heart's like. That's who I get in business with. So we're going to interview for heart. And if at each interview we say, I like you, you like me, I feel like we can be in business together, then we go to the next interview. At the very last interview, if we both feel like we can be in business together, I'm going to give you a financial offer, and you're going to look it over and you're going to pray about it, and then we'll make the decisions. Best case scenario, we get in business together. Worst case scenario, which is not a bad scenario at all, we're going to get to know each other. We're going to be a resource for each other. We're going to help each other someday along the line in this crazy industry, or maybe not, maybe personally, but we're going to get to know each other. So I don't hire for skill at all. I don't hire for, can they talk? Can they do this? I tell them the true interview process starts when you get in here. Are you going to get on the phones and get your 1,000 points 5 days a week? Are you going to generate business and have the conversations? Are you going to do what it takes to succeed? And then if they don't, then they weed themselves right out of the industry, right? And one of the common things I see for teams is they have like these standards, right? Like teams are like, our standard is you have to close 24 deals a month. Don't do that shit. Don't do that. Like, here's the deal. Find out what the standard is for someone to live a basic life in your area. Ours, it's 8 to 12 transactions, should make you $30,000 to $50,000. That's basic to survive around here, right? So that means our standard is 8 transactions, because if you're not doing 8 transactions a year, you're probably not going to be happy. Why, you say? Because I would rather have an agent with 8 transactions and a strong culture and a strong heart than somebody who does 50 and has a pissy attitude. If you do 50 transactions, you got a bad attitude, I don't need you. There's the door. But if you can come in here, you can contribute to our culture, contribution, helping people out, all those things, we can do business, right? I'm going to show y'all. So here's what I love. So this is what I go in my recruiting appointments and my conversation appointments, my interviews with people. These are the things I go over. Obviously, I'm pretty good at this. I do this a lot, right? So I do 10 to 15 appointments of going over this stuff every single week. Right now, I'm interviewing 10 to 15 people to join the team a week right now. So these are the things I go over. The number one thing I say is, I have a vision for where we're going, right? My vision is to create a company that you'll never want to leave, to give you all the opportunity to feed your family at the highest level and to be happy. In order for that to happen, my dream has to be big enough to fit your dream. At the time that my dream is not big enough for you to accomplish everything you want, we will begin to separate and go our different ways. And I don't care where you go, I'm going to love you no matter what. We don't have to separate on bad terms. Just because we're not going to make it in business don't mean I don't love you. And you need to know that. So this is where we were in mid-2020. This is where we were in mid-2021. And then the new company. So I break this down. MTO Wealth Management is our investment firm. We buy hundreds of houses a year. We invest. I raise capital. People put hundreds to millions of dollars with me, and we buy properties with it. Texas Turnkey is our property management company, which manages our portfolio. The AskOzzie.com team is our real estate company. Then we are working, my CEO wants to step out of being on the team so she can homeschool her kids and she just wants to coach. So we're going to create a coaching company where she coaches our team, right? And then if she wants to take on other coaching people, she can. Sign and Lockbox is an internal company. Oops, I messed that up. We deliver all our sign and lockbox for our agents so they don't have to. And then Tycoon Media is for our photos and videos and all that stuff. Insurance, credit repair, mortgage, these are all the companies we want to build. These are the different people we will need for the different companies coming up. And then this is our administrative staff and where we're going. And then this is our sales team. So being able to paint the vision is huge in your interview process, right? And then these are the expansions. So in 2023, we expect to have offices in at least half of these places right here. San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. I want offices in places I want a vacation at. And that's a selling point. People are like, heck yeah, I want to move over there. I'm like, good, help us grow.
It does sound like a good idea.
It is, man. Then I tell them like, this is our past, present, and future, right? This is where we're going this year. This is where we were last year. And this goes to show you, I've been in since 2005. It shows you the years we did great and the years I got my butt kicked. It shows you who we are as a company, and you need to know that. We are not a fly-by-night company. I didn't show up on the scene last year. We are here to stay. I don't tuck, tail, and run. I stand and fight, and this is who we are. And then I cover, this is our agent levels program. We have incentives on every level. So we've already got a pre-built out incentive program that we give them. You want to earn tier 1 ISA appointments or get a headset, you got to pass the LP Mama script. If you want to get a $250 annual professional development, like all these different things, like we push out as incentives. But the most important thing is core value. So I cover the core values with them, right? Here's the deal. Personal responsibility is the number one core value. Are you going to own your crap? Are you going to live up to expectation? Then commitment, accountability, and contribution. But I go in depth in these things and I make sure they know who we are before they join. But this is my interview process. And here's the deal is my job is to do some basic weeding out. My job isn't to get rid of everyone. And here's a lot of companies, they kind of pigeonhole like the people that they bring onto the team. This is the thing is nobody's created interviewing and hiring as a science. There's no real way to determine if somebody's going to be successful or not. I've had people come in and flop in the interview and kill it when they get on here. I've had people kill in the interview and flop when they get here. So rather than me be the judge, let the action be the judge. You know, as long as their heart's right and they're not just a jerk and they're rude and all that crap, like bring them in, give a chance, see what they can do. They're going to earn their spot or they're going to burn their spot. That's up to them. I tell them my job isn't to kick you off the team. My job is to give you enough rope to make a decision. You're either going to climb up the rope with me or you're going to hang yourself. I'm going to let you figure that out. We just give you the tools to figure it out. So that's hopefully that helps.
Great. Appreciate it.
No, it's all
All
great.
right.
Ozzie, I appreciate it.
We've hit our time. I appreciate and I respect your time, guys. You guys have been a blessing to me. And I hope I helped at least one, if not all of you, to grow your business and, take it to whatever level you want to take it to.
The video
Awesome. Appreciate it.
genuine.
Thank you, guys. Anything else?
We'll definitely keep it in mind. Ozzie, appreciate it, guys. You have a good evening. If you guys need anything, just reach out to Daniel or Ozzie. We'd be happy to kind of chat a little further on this process.
Thank
And
you
whatever-
all.
God bless.
Whatever, go shine your light, guys, and whatever you do, don't let them haters get you.
Thanks,
Don't
Patrick.
let them. I'm joking. I'll see y'all later. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all take it easy. Go be with your families. Handle your business.
God bless.
Bye, guys. Bye, guys.